In the equity quadrant, taking a look at the March S&P futures, which on a push-pull type of day end up higher for the third day in the last four. If you look at since the close of January 2nd, which was the recent low close after that 5-session losing streak to close out last year and start this year, we're actually up around 2% now. Today we had this push-pull day where we had a brief negative move prior to the cash open. Then the big three opened up, pulled higher, and pulled the Russell out of the negative place that it had been in through most of the day. And now we have all four, as I speak to you right now, positive, with the S&P right now up about 0.5% or 0.5%. Still a little bit of time left in the day, and we're closer to the highs than the lows. The highs at this point of the day, 48.2850, up 0.75%, and below, not much to the downside when we made it down there, only down 14 basis points at 47.86. Now, large cap stocks did really well today. For example, WD-40 up 14%, Intuitive Surgical up 10%, Palo Alto Networks was up over 4%, CrowdStrike up over 3%, Seagate Tech up over 3%, Sony 4%, Lennar Home Builder up around 5%. That's actually an interesting one because they increased their dividend yesterday and they talked about increased buybacks. And then Meta Platforms up almost 4% as well. That helped the S&P and the NASDAQ, by the way, which was the best performer of the day, pull higher and help the Russell get out of negative territory. Also, yields were kind of back and forth as well. Higher early, lower midday, and then higher toward the end of the day. Specifically on the back end of the curve, the 30-year up 3 basis points in toward the close at 421, but the 10-year still firmly above 4%, 403 yield. That probably weighed on the upside of stocks, but certainly didn't turn stocks negative.